Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. We are back, and if you are just tuning in, you are going to want to go to nowmedia.tv, click on the show, and catch the first half of today's episode. It was pure gold. You're not going to want to miss a moment of this, or you can check out our app. Go ahead and download that today on Roku or iOS. But now we're going to shift gears a little bit because we're facing a reality check today. AI is not coming, it's here. You know, you've been around. Now we're living in a time where innovation is no longer optional. We're going to dive into how to lead with purpose and agility in this AI-empowered era. I've got two friends of mine here today to talk about this because they are educators and master simplifiers all about AI literacy. Welcome to the show, Tom and Steve.
Hello, Jen. Thanks for having us.
Hey,
I'm
Jen.
really excited.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to have you guys on. So let's talk about the elephant in the boardroom. Why are so many smart entrepreneurs still frozen when it comes to learning AI?
A couple of reasons. I think that the first one, everyone's stuck in overwhelm, and if you're not comfortable and confident in knowing the direction you're going to go in, it's easier just not to start. So I think there's so many new things, there's so many big giant promises. The expectation that's been set is master AI, and most entrepreneurs don't have the time to master AI, to go through a 12-week course or worse. I think another reason is that the way that AI has been trained for the most part is grossly wrong, in my professional opinion. Everyone's been focusing on tactics. How do I do prompt engineering and learning a six-step process to open every prompt? It's not obvious. It's made to be far too complicated for most people. And so if they're not able to get over that first hump to get comfortable and confident using AI, it's easier and safer for them not to even start.
So that makes me ask the follow-up question. Since we have these people kind of sticking their heads in the sand, not getting started because they're a little bit overwhelmed, what exactly is AI literacy in your mind, and why is it the new non-negotiable, I'm going to say, for business survival? I truly believe if we're not leveraging the tools by this time next year, we're not going to be viable in many of our industries. So what does that mean to you, and how do we shift the paradigm and how we're thinking about this?
Yeah, I think, Jen, the big item here is, again, Tom's talking about overwhelm, and you're right. AI is really going to change everything. So I've worked in technology my entire career, so I've been there through, the first email addresses, the first websites, the mobile revolution, e-commerce, all of those things. AI is bigger than all of them. We're equating this to fire or electricity. And so you're absolutely right. People do need to be embracing AI because it's really changing the way that we deliver our products and services, the way that we service our customers. But really, the thing that we've been saying lately is AI also has the ability to make us human in a way that we haven't been in an awful long time. So yeah, it's just a sticking your head in the sand. That's not the approach right now. So really, it's all about getting started, getting people comfortable, and jumping in to an appropriate implementation of AI.
You know, Steve, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, one of the things that I say a lot when I'm working with my clients, especially, I'm a business consultant. I work with entrepreneurs day and night. And when they're in that stage, I ask the question, so AI's here, whether you like it or not. It's embedded within a lot of the tools you're already using. So would you rather let AI control what's happening in your business and in your life, or would you rather be leveraging the tool and having exercising a little bit of local of control over it and how it impacts you and your business? And that sort of gives people pause because, what we see in the media and what we think, like, there's a lot of AI that's been embedded within tools that we've been using for years now, and they just didn't realize it. So it seems like it just sprung up overnight a couple years ago when ChatGPT became the next big thing, but really it's been around for a long time. So I think the question I want to ask you guys next, you work with high-performing entrepreneurs. You've done this for years, and throughout this whole digital age, you've been involved in this whole sort of evolution. What do you see are the hidden beliefs or fears that are keeping people from embracing the shift, even though they're really highly successful individuals?
I've had the opportunity to work with Tony Robbins, one on one. I personally trained him how to use AI. Peter Diamandis with Abundance 360. I'm also working with Blake Mycoskie, the founder of Tom's Shoes. And I think, and all of them have varying degrees of AI skill development and comfort and experience with it. The biggest thing that's holding them back is not knowing where to start. I see a lot of CEOs in the first couple of years, everyone jumped into rolling out advanced, complex AI solutions for their companies. And a lot of CEOs essentially delegated AI. They went to their business, to their teams that said, hey, go start using AI, right? Without themselves finding out what is actually possible and what it can really do. And so I think a lot of entrepreneurs are truly not able to wrap their heads around what is possible. I remember when I was 16, I got my driver's license. I thought I could drive really fast, and I was really good because I was passing people. That kind of mirrors the people using AI who think they're doing great work with it. But then 3 years later, I went to my first driving event, and I got to drive with an instructor in the passenger seat first. I went around really quick. I thought I did great. Then we switched and he drove and my jaw hit the floor. And I remember the visceral feeling of going, wow, my car can handle like this. And I was blown away. I literally had no idea. And he unlocked 5 different levels of what was possible in my mind. And I think until CEOs and entrepreneurs have that experience, are able to go in and get hands-on and learn how to work with AI naturally and how to use it strategically and get that insight, it's hard for them to delegate, to everyone to start learning and just using AI. So I think a big issue is the CEOs are skipping that very important step, and everyone's focused on the advanced solutions before they first get the basic entry level steps. What are the core foundational shifts that if you make these 2, 3, 4 shifts, everything changes for you? And that's really the work that we do with AI Simplifier. And what makes it really unique is whether someone's brand new at using AI. I mean, they've used it once or twice, right, to come up with a recipe, or they've been using it every single day. We've even had AI software developers go through our course with a team of 150 people. They walk away with a lot because we're really focusing on those strategic foundational shifts. And I think that's where the big opportunity is, the low hanging fruit. We have tons of clients that come back reporting 20 to 40%, productivity gains for themselves and then for their entire team as well when they go through our team program.
So let's make this real for everybody who's watching. Like, what's the one mindset shift that anybody watching today can make right now that's going to kind of get them over that hump, get them moving, and get them thinking in that other way? We talk a lot about strategy and tactics, but this is really it's about mindset and how we interact and see our interactions. So, what would be that mindset shift that anybody watching today could shift forward and start that momentum?
Yeah. Well, the very first mindset. So we have 8 mindsets that we teach in our 30-day sprint. The very first one is quit typing and start talking. And the core idea is that this thing here, the keyboard, is actually evil. Put another way, it is a retardant of flow. And our entire lives, the only way we've been able to get information out of our minds into the computers is by typing. But the problem is that it filters 80, 90% of the raw material that we have, right? The context, the nuance, the detail, what the problem is, what you've tried. And instead of putting that into the LLM, ChatGPT or whatever we're working with, we type in, I need help with my, HR. I have a tough employee, right? So if you start using the keyboard less and start talking, and in most apps, you can hit the microphone and it transcribes perfectly, even if you have an accent, even if you don't speak perfectly. The goal is raw input, right? The more context you can provide, the more nuanced the output's going to be. And so you can speak 3 times faster than you can type. So it's more efficient, but the big shift is it's much more effective because you're going to give 5 to 10 times more nuance and detail to the AI. It's going to be able to use that, spot the patterns, clean it up, and give you clear direction moving forward. So just making that one shift for people. I've had a lot of people come back after the first course and saying, wow, I got my money's worth already. So I type maybe 5 to 10% of my time than I used to on my computer now.
And so, folks, if you need to have it repeated for the folks in the back of the room, Tom just called it like it is. You don't need to know everything about AI. You need to start. And one of the best things you can do is stop trying to type into your language models or whatever you're using, and start using that talk to text option and voice it in, because you can put the context in, you can do everything, and the AI already is trained to simplify it. And that way it gets more information and gives you a more clear response, a more concise response that's relevant, really, because you've provided it with more information. And, you know, I also wanted to just ask, if people are starting this, Tom, today, or Steve, before we wrap this segment, where can our viewers find you guys online? What's your website? How can they engage with you? And remember, folks, let them know you heard it on Power CEOs.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jen. So yeah, come visit us at ai-simplifier.com. You can also reach out to Tom and I on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect there. And yeah, don't forget to mention you saw us here on Power CEO.
So we do have to take a brief break, but before we roll, I just want to echo some of the things that we said today. AI is not something for us to put our head in the sand. If we have not started taking action, or even if we've been doing a little bit day by day, today's the day to use your voice instead of your keyboard, because you'll be surprised at how much shifts just with that one habit change. My challenge to you, you know I'm a coach, I can't help but give a challenge, is to put this into action, not tomorrow, but today. The next time you log into your computer, don't use the keyboard, you leverage your voice and give it the context it needs so that you can start to get a little bit more comfortable. And bonus, we're used to talking a heck of a lot more when we're talking to our assistants anyway. This just makes it more natural. It's closer to us interacting with our human assistants, because what we're now doing is using virtual assistants. We will be right back after these important messages.